The man's a bit washed, isn't it? I mean, like, look, hairline's going a bit back. It's not what it was.
So on your 21st birthday, you was with a mutual friend of ours. Mm-hmm. You was with Ryan Garcia. You was with Mr. Amir Khan on a private jet. What's the crack? How's that?
I don't...
You just said, I'm always going to go AJ.
Yeah,
that's my boy.
Yeah.
You back your boys, innit?
Of course. You got the Van Cleef on. You pick me up in the Defender. Brother, you can pay for food. That ain't a problem.
And like most people, I probably think you're a bit of a knobhead. Are you Illuminati?
That may be one for a later episode where we're like locked up in some room in Amsterdam.
So you're a Southampton fan?
I am.
What's going on? That's all I'm going to tell you. Like, what's going on?
You did take me to a Michelin star restaurant for lunch, to be fair. It was a bit mad.
Nice,
I didn't really know what I was eating. It was all a bit sophisticated for my palate.
You punched my head all over the gaff.
I said, are you almost a little bit just like middle finger up now and almost a little bit like, fuck you?
He lost, so he's shit.
His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh, who's come involved.
Do you have to say His Excellency?
But we've also got a man who is like a genuinely really big boxing fan, which I don't think people realised at first.
I remember I played Watford very early on. I scored an own goal against Leeds. We lose 2-1 to Leeds at Ellen Road. I'm all the way home going, fuck.
The Harry Kane comments. Talk me through it, and do you stand by what you said?
There's certain things in his game that I could do better than him.
Well, have you got a pen in your hand, bro?
Just debating why I signed that contract.
And on that note, what's happening, people? And welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Play, the podcast that has reached the stomping ground where me, Charlie Parsons, has now somehow got a voice on football and all things other sports. Boxing, I kind of had that anyway. With my co-host, Troy
I'm not
Deeney.
sure I like that from the start. Why am I your co-host?
Well, that's how we do it. You are my co-host. I'm your co-host.
I was your business partner when I was paid for food.
You are my business. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You were my business partner at lunch.
Okay.
And now when the cameras are on, you're my co-host. Or am I your co-host?
I don't know.
I've done the introduction.
We'll let the fans decide. Anyway, peeps, what's going on? How are you?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Life is good. Very busy, active, out and about, golfing, been on holiday, missus, kids, everyone's good. So I can't complain. What's new with you?
What's
Saudi,
new with me? Saudi.
Canelo.
A lot of Saudi stuff, Canelo stuff. Actually, no, we weren't out in Vegas for Canelo. We got Joshua Dubois this week, which is taking up a lot of our time. We got the red carpet filming after this. I am, but I think any fight week like this, you almost have to you've got to be so on the ball for these big ones. Of course, he's the GOAT. All-time GOAT.
You didn't say that. You did say that.
That's cap. Can't be mudding us on the stomping ground. Troy, no, thank you. I suppose, firstly, you signed the contract. The finances were right. But you must have seen something in the stomping ground, firstly.
No, obviously, I think we have mutual interests across all sports. I think there's something that we can work together on. And also, I've been looking for a platform that I can, grow with. And also, I have a lot of ideas, as you know. And I just think, you want a space where you're not always just talking about football. And I suppose you want a space where you're not always talking about boxing. So we're going to have me and you chatting about every little thing that's going on.
Live football, boxing, everything.
And then get some guests in that know what they're actually talking about. Yeah. And we'll just challenge them on it all.
And if there's ever a man with Paul, not to like flatter the ego too much, but some of the guests and some of the people that follow this man.
Yeah,
we've got something good for you in store. You're a serious grafter, bro.
Thank you, sir.
That was the first thing when sort of working with you on this little project that I realised. You've always got about 60 million different things on, which I feel...
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
No, I think it's a good thing. I mean, look, you sort of finish football now for the time being, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But in terms of you're in a position and you're keeping yourself busy.
Yeah. I'm working with all the major networks I'm working with, and it's nice. It's nice to be busy. I still love football. Still go to games. Still report on games. But also I've got 4 kids, bro. Like it's a lot. I've still got loads of things to do. I've got business interests, as you know. So just trying to maneuver and stay out the mix and keep myself away from all the life distractions.
You know what made me laugh more than anything? When you did Josh Taylor fight week for us, I saw you do the fight night, and I don't know what time you would have got wrapped up, but by the time you got home, it must have been 2-3.
Yeah.
Then I'm watching Southampton in the playoff finals next day, and you're on the screen.
I'm there working,
and I'm like, bro, This guy's relentless.
That is work. I was buzzing with that as well. Like, again, I'm a boxing fan, so if I could go there, then to me it's perfect. I got to sit down with Josh Taylor, have a really interesting chat, see how that whole dynamic works. I think what interests me the most about any athlete is not the end product, it's the journey and the graft that goes into it. I think fans and people that watch can go, he's shit because it was this, or he lost so he's shit. So actually no, there's a lot of graft that goes into doing that, and I just think it's sick, man. And listen, in the spirit of being nice to each other, because this won't happen often, I'll be nice to you. You are a grafter. You like bacteria. You can't get rid of all the air. You get everywhere, don't you?
Like water.
No, bacteria.
That's horrible, bro. You said you were going to be nice and then said I was like bacteria. No one's ever complimented someone and called them bacteria. Yo, you know what? You're better sick at your job.
Years ago, so they had good bacteria.
All right, so I'm the good bacteria from the yogurt advert that you watched years ago. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
Can we go again? Say it a little bit nicer.
But you're everywhere. You're in with all the right people in the right spaces, and you're grafted. And I think it's a funny dynamic as well because you're a kid. Yeah. Like, to me, you're a kid. And I'm an old man.
That's what I like about this. But I think also what I see with this and with us as such is like you're not so far gone from like you're about it, bro. Like
what you mean so far gone?
Like
that's what you said.
The man's a bit washed, isn't it? I mean, like look, the hairline's going a bit back. It's not what it was. He's actually got. Well, I was going to say the skin fade's expired a little bit, but I am in no position to talk.
Look, it's all right still. It's all right still. But at 36.
No, and I think the dynamic works, right? I've seen enough podcasts of you, whether it be with like a Simon Jordan or big up to Simon. He called me that kid. Did you see that? By the way, we'll talk about that. I know. I quite enjoyed the fact that he even said my name. I was like, I feel like
he did say that.
We see so much of. I don't want to say angry Troy. But we do see a little bit of angry Troy.
Do you think I'm an angry guy?
No.
Yeah.
This is what I like. Yeah. So I feel like that's why this works and the dynamic's fun. But also then I feel like there's going to be times where I start talking about certain things in football and you go, shut up, you Wallad, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. Yeah. I'm not what everyone thinks. I'm not an angry guy.
No.
Quite a generous guy. As I think we've met up 2-3 times for food now, and I've paid every time.
He loves to say that every single person that we speak to, he has to mention.
I just feel like this is a pivotal part of life where we're cracking on with whatever this is going to turn out to be, and I think we need to let the people know. You don't drive, right?
No, I don't drive.
So how do you get around?
Usually the train.
Or me?
Yeah. But can I just say something? Yeah, we're talking Troy Deeney. Ex-Premier League footballer, myself, 21-year-old dweeb from the Cotswolds, as Eddie calls me, right, who has somehow blagged myself into this seat here.
Yeah.
You turned up, you got the Van Cleef on, you picked me up in the Defender. Brother, you can pay for food. That ain't a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, like I said, since Labour have got into government, school fees have gone up. A lot of tax happening. There's real life issues.
Okay, all right, fine. Next time.
You double ordered on pancakes.
That was your idea. That was your idea?
More. Yeah, and then obviously, today, met for a little bite to eat.
Yes.
With one of our guests. We won't say who, but you'll see it come in. So I thought I needed to show the boys a good time. And
he did take me to a Michelin-star restaurant for lunch, to be fair. It was a bit mad.
Nice,
I didn't really know what I was eating. It was all a bit sophisticated for my palate. But we're dabbling. We're getting into this world. We're comfortable.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you a question.
Go on.
Because I see you online, right? And like most people, I probably think you're a bit of a knobhead. And they think, fucking hell. How has he blagged it onto a jet? I need to talk people through. I saw on your 21st birthday, you was with a mutual friend of ours. Mm-hmm. You was with Ryan Garcia. You was with Mr. Amir Khan. On a private jet. What's the crack? How was that happen? Because you've just said you are a little knobhead that's managed to get in these positions.
Brother, I don't know what's happening.
But you land on your feet all the time.
I don't know what's happening.
So the question probably asking is, are you Illuminati? That's what
I'm not Illuminati.
No.
I don't know actually what the extent of the Illuminati is, although I don't know if that's for the play on the Stomping Ground, if I'm honest. That may be one for a later episode where we're like locked up in some room in Amsterdam or something. We're going through on a madness. I don't quite know. I feel like and you may get this, but you were built up in the world of football where you were probably semi-expecting to make it, and you did make it, right?
No, the opposite, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Whereas me, I never expected this in a million years. So if you get an opportunity thrown at you, Frank Smith told this to me from early doors, never say no to nothing. Yeah. And that's basically what I've just applied in this journey. And
did that happen when you bought that shirt?
Bro, I don't know why this is getting smoked. This is a lovely little number. Corduroy, Stone Island, where you can still get the badge in. I'm looking up at the screens behind us for the people who don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't look as bad on that. It looks like it's a real jacket, but it's more of a shacket.
It's like
that you're small, and it's corduroy. Like, when did that become back in fashion?
I just saw it and I thought, you know what?
Outlet store?
No,
100%.
not outlet.
Yeah, 100%.
Soho, Stone Island.
In a little sale rack like it does.
I love
TK
a sale
Maxx.
rack, yeah, but that's how you know he's a footballer, and it won't even do sales. Head's gone.
Carry on. The rest of the fit's not bad.
Thank you, bro.
The rest of it's not bad. I think
shout out to Sneaker Saveur, who sorted me these absolute legendary. They're not, bro. Don't be dropping the snide shirts out there. I could never. What do you mean, bro? I'm not even biting. I'm not even rising to this man's bait. Troy.
Yes, sir. Let's talk some stuff.
Yes, I want to go into, I suppose, that first fight week that you worked for us.
Yeah.
And I think that was a bit of an interesting experience for you, right? In terms of...
Fucking carnage.
Yeah. So the boxing media landscape, and this is probably what's worked for, I suppose, IFL over the course of the last 10 years, what we're doing now at the Stomping Ground, what I previously did at Boxing Social. It's a weird industry in that almost anyone can turn up.
Yeah, anyone can turn up. There's no like order. It's like first come, first
flex
serve.
Your muscles and just try and push yourself in.
Yeah, and obviously it was my first time at a show, so I was trying to be respectful. Stood, waited, watched, see what was going on, and I just realised you don't get nothing done when you do that. So, yeah, that was the presser. And then on fight night, the elbows were out, and I was in there. Made sure I got all it. Yeah, I think I was the only person to get an interview with Tony. Big Tony.
Yes, you did. That's just you being Troy Deeney, though. I can't lie.
Tony's my guy for years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I've known him for years. He said he was going to do it on the presser, but then obviously, as you know, gets carnage. He's shot off.
Yeah.
And then he was with his lads, so I actually didn't even want to take up any of his time, and he was like, "I did say I'd do it, Troy. My bad."
Nice. Tony's lovely like that.
Tony's my guy, man. Shit at golf, but he's my guy.
Golf is something that you're actually going to have to teach me to get into because I, for one, am useless. You know,
we'll get you some kids clubs so you can start.
So far, right? So that was a great first episode of. No, you know what? My granddad had 2 hole-in-one cufflinks, and it's the one thing they tried to get me. Yeah, they tried to get me to play when I was younger. It's one thing I never picked up, and now I'm desperate to pick it up. So that can be a little episode that we can do down the line.
I don't want to do it, and
well, he's got no choice really because I put it in the small print in the contract, and he just isn't aware. This week,
yes, sir.
Anthony Joshua versus Daniel Dubois.
Yes, sir.
You are a massive boxing fan. I know you're
sir.
friends with AJ. Yes, I've been saying this over the last couple of days. I feel like this is the most respect that Daniel Dubois has ever had going into a fight. Do you agree?
The respect from the public?
From the public, from people within the industry?
Yeah, because the names he's had on his resume over the last 4 fights are ones that make you go, oh, that's interesting. Like, him beating Jared Miller, to me, was like, as long as you're fit, you beat Jared Miller. Like, that's my opinion. I think he's a big old lump penny that throws, 15 punches. Don't get me wrong, he punched my head all over the gaff, but throws about 15 punches around and just leans on you. It's big and hefty. I think the Hrgovic fight was that one that everyone went, ooh, that's a big statement. I've always been of the understanding that there's levels to boxing. I think at the moment there is 3 that are at the top. I think Usyk's the Man City, and I think Arsenal and Liverpool are...
literally said this at lunch earlier, and he's copied exactly what I've said.
It's not copying it because I'll make it sound better. But Arsenal and Liverpool are, AJ and Fury, as it's currently constructed, and then the rest are all trying to figure it out and where do they fit and how do they fit. Like, everyone's forgotten about Dillian White and people of that nature. Like, I think Dillian White versus Daniel would be a monstrous fight, and just off of experience, I'd probably say Dillian beats him
right now.
Right now, yeah, I do. I just think think you like talk professionally styles mate fights. I just think the way that Joe Joyce jabbed Daniel's head off, I think he gets frustrated and tries to load up all the time. And I think Dillian can A, take a punch, and B, can throw that left hook and put you into play. So looking ahead to this weekend, again, very, very biased and more than happy for this to be shown afterwards if I'm wrong, but I don't see it going past 6. I think AJ stops him. I think he's too quick, he's too fluid, solid jab, and he just moves better. I just think there's a level of above that. I think he'll walk him onto one and it'll be similar to Ngannou and the previous fights where he just punches through him.
What do you think of AJ now under Ben Davison? And it's funny because I was having this chat with Frank Smith yesterday, because we can go out and say this is the best AJ we've ever seen, which I kind of actually agree with. I mean, that Klitschko performance was sensational, but in terms of almost like chopping down opponents, I see AJ referenced it himself. He went from the 12 rounds with Franklin, and then went down to...
It looked like he didn't want to go step on it.
Yeah, and then a little bit the same with Hellenius until that thunderous punch came out. Then the Otto Wallin fight where he broke him down and it was stopped early, and then absolutely blasted out Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Okay, the opposition isn't... But you can only fight what you've got in front of you. It's also decent opposition,
and
all
also,
things considered.
At that point, everyone was saying he was going to lose all the fights. After Hellenius, he was done, apparently. You know, and not Franklin, sorry.
Even a little bit after Hellenius, because it come like 7-8 rounds in.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, where's the...
Yeah. But I think it's funny because I've been fortunate enough to be around AJ's whole career in terms of being at a lot of fights and obviously chat to him and see certain things. When he was blasting people out at the start, he weren't fighting anybody. Then he beats Charles Martin, gets the title, and he was handed the title. And then he loses to Ruiz. He's like, I told you he wasn't good enough. Then he beats him. It's like, yeah, he beat him, but Ruiz put all this weight on. Do you know, and then when he beat Klitschko, it's like, but Fury already took his... Like,
and he'd not fought for 2 years. He's never
had the credit he deserved.
And I said this to AJ. I said, are you almost a little bit just like middle finger up now and almost a little bit like, fuck you? Because I would be...
What did you say back to that?
He said, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I would be as well. Because I think he believed in it. And there's nothing wrong with believing in it. And he should still believe in it. But like, you believe in the hype and then you lose and everyone hates you. Which is the story for, by the way, like... Almost, look at England.
Any
that's precisely.
Person,
But if I'm AJ now, you're almost even better because it's not like that everyone loves you because you don't care.
That is Joe Joyce, right? So Joe Joyce believed he could never get knocked out. He had the best chin. Now the last 3 fights, look, he's been banging trouble. So I just think Fury would have thought that no one could beat him, and then he loses to Usyk. Do you get what I mean? So there's always that point where you believe that you are probably a little bit ahead of where you are in terms of your performance and abilities. But for me, I haven't seen Josh slow down. He's just come up against somebody, and I think if you take the emotional rant after Usyk and break it down and dissect it, what Josh is fundamentally saying is, look, I've gone in there with this geezer who's been boxing since he could walk. He's been doing it at an elite level. World Championships, Olympics, is the governor. And I've come into this late, and then it just gets to a level where this guy is kind of dancing around me. What do you want me to do? And what he's saying is truthful. Like, if like me and you go out and play football now, you might be good, but there's going to be certain nuances that I can do that you can't do.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's what AJ was trying to get at. And he's got away, he's learned, he's dedicated himself to it. I think... When you graft, when you really fucking graft at it and put your head to it, and he's obsessed with it, he's come back better and he's gonna wipe people out. And I genuinely believe he puts a show on, and I think you'll know this better than me. Next summer we get the fight we all want.
Yeah, I mean it's weird talking about Fury against Joshua because it's one of those things that's almost like plagiarised the boxing industry.
Yeah.
In that, ever since I started asking people questions in this industry, most interviews have always had the question about Fury AJ. Yeah. But it was a different time of the sport. We now have His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, who's come involved.
Do you have to say His Excellency? No, I'm being general.
No. We don't have to, but it's almost like a respect thing, right?
Yeah. No, I've just heard different people say.
No, I would also say it without. No, I would
also
say it without as well. It's not like a. To be fair, he actually went on TalkSport and said he didn't like.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I think from like a respect, I've always said it from a respect point of view. But now we see, okay, the first thing that comes into the sport is cash, right? But we've also got a man who is like a genuinely really big boxing fan, which I don't think people realised at first. I think when people saw Fury and Ngannou, they were a little bit sceptical. What's the situation going on here? Fact of the matter is, this guy's a huge boxing fan, and he has this like bank of cash basically that's like able to make things happen. Now, providing Anthony Joshua beats, I was about to say Francis Ngannou, Daniel Dubois on Saturday night. I know, and I almost think regardless a little bit of AJ and Fury. And Usyk in the rematch.
Because you're all over the place.
No. And Fury Usyk in the rematch. You almost feel like there's a little bit of a contingency plan for the first time ever that we actually see that fight. But then, Fury could say, "I'm done" after December 21st.
Yeah, he could do. I don't think Tyson Fury would like to go out and loss. I don't think he has that about him. He's a winner. I also think I don't think he could be comfortable sitting at home. You know, he doesn't strike me as someone that money is orientated, but clearly likes money, if you get what I mean. Like, it's not his be all and end all. But I don't think he could sit at home retired, having said, I beat AJ every single day of the week and twice on a Sunday, I think he was been saying, and not move around.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think that is something that needs to be done. I think that's something that will happen. I think.
Who wins right now?
Listen, I don't know is the honest answer. I've always listened to Josh and what Josh said every single time his name's been mentioned, it's been like, I win. So I don't know what happened in sparring, and as you know, with this whole thing now with Dubois and AJ, there's a lot of sparring talk. Whether he sees something, he felt something where he's just like, I beat him. And who am I to go against somebody that's made it from zero to being one of the world's biggest superstars, both commercially and viably with their achievements. So I would always go with AJ, but listen, I'm never going to back against Fury either. It'd be daft. So sat on the fence currently is the answer.
And I have to basically spend my whole thing doing the same. Although I'm a little bit disappointed because you could give me, if you had to push one.
Like I just said, I'm always going to go AJ.
But is always. That on a... Yeah,
that's my boy. Yeah. You back your boys, isn't it?
Of course.
No matter what. So if we went to war right now, I'm riding with my boys, and that's it.
We talk about Saudi Arabia and football as well, and sort of the investment into sports and entertainment as such, as an athlete, and coming from the football world, which is now, obviously, there's a lot of Saudi money going into it. What's your perception on it? And look, there's always been, for example, players used to go to the MLS or stuff like that. I mean, look, Pele went and played out in the States for a bit of a,
Did you Google that? Because you did not know that.
I was actually around back then. What's your thoughts as a player watching it now? Because I feel like the landscape for everything has changed so much over the last 5 years, and that's multi-sport.
Yeah, but it always happens. There's a business model in the Premier League and English football that is doing really well. It's highly successful. You look at the top teams in Spain, highly successful, Germany, highly successful, France. Now, if you are an American company, why would you not go, we could get into that? Same with China, same with now Saudi. The problem is having a plan and a longevity and a willingness, like any business, to lose money in the short term, hoping that you're going to make it in the long term. The only thing I see differently with the Saudi league as opposed to the other leagues is, A, they've got the money, B, they've got a plan, and they're sticking to that plan. That plan's not changing. And like with the world current economy states, they can keep going. If you look at Premier League clubs now, they're all budgeting and trying to make financial fair play, fit. And just on.
Got Chelsea out here doing 9-year deals.
But they're all thinking of ways to get around it. And what Saudi can start doing is, okay, these people at Chelsea that are not playing, here you go, here's a contract, you want to come and live here and do this. But just on football, because this is the first time you're ever going to talk about football.
Which is nuts, by the way. How this man's allowed me to have a voice on football shit.
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, you're going to talk shit, so why not talk shit on here? Do you know what I mean? So you're a Southampton fan.
I am.
What's going on? That's all I'm going to tee up to you, like, what's going on?
I think, and I'm lucky almost to be able to sit here, and I suppose I can, all the questions that I've almost been thinking for the last couple of weeks watching the season unfold, I now get here to, I see the gap bigger than ever.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about money coming in, but to me it feels like this is more prominent over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I feel like 4 years ago you could go down and you could almost come back up. What's happened so quickly in such a small amount of time? Like, you almost looked at Leicester when they went down, you went, oh, that squad will blitz the Championship. Probably not as well as a lot of people thought, and they fell off towards the end of the season. We played some glamorous football, but you look at the money being spent, like look at Fulham spending 40 million on Emile Smith Rowe, and they're not really a club that you would call a top 10 team. Is it just the broadcasting money, the commercialism and all of it? I don't get what's happened in such a small amount of time.
It's all of it, and then it's recruitment. It's if you mess up one transfer window, it can ruin you for a long time. We look at like the likes of Man United and teams like, there was a few windows where Southampton could have probably got better, especially in the striking department. And you missed so many times that you end up, I don't know, you buy something for 30 million and you're selling it for 10, or you're giving it away, and then it just sets you back. I think you, I've always liked playing at St Mary's. I think it's just a nice place to go. Southampton's a nice part of the world, but yeah, it's just one of those things. When I look at Southampton, look at the Prem now, I just get pissed off, man. Everyone's just trying to play the same way. It's not boring because it's good, and the way that people move and what they do.
What you mean in terms of like Russell Martin's come up and he's sticking to that exact same ethos, and like he will play that.
But you're not going to be successful with that. He will, as an individual, he will be successful because he'll move on and get a different job. But
you don't think
Southampton will not stay up playing like that. And I don't. That's everyone can say I'm being nasty, but it's like, how you don't score a lot of goals, and you concede by you giving it away. Either you passing it out for the back and lose it, or you don't know how to defend corners like against Man United. They're the fundamentals of football.
And capitalising on opportunities, which, I mean, look at the United game. I mean, I put out a tweet, and United fans always are going to give you stick on something like that. But the fact of the matter is, we've dominated for 40 minutes.
Dominated is a tough
I would say we dominated. For 40 minutes of that game.
You had a lot of the ball.
In their final third.
And you did what with it?
No, precisely.
So that's why I can't.
No, and then we have the penalty, we miss it, and the game's gone from that point on. But that will be the story of our season, really. Unless something changes.
Do you think if Southampton were to get relegated, that they would keep a whole host of their players and bounce straight back up?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. I feel like we're just going to be a little bit of a yo-yo club.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's just, but it never.
Years ago.
Yeah, but I feel like. But look at Burnley, right?
Yeah.
There can't be much fun in just bang, 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 bang,
no,
bang.
But Burnley only just went down. Not in terms of like the time when they, but just they under Dyche, was it 4 or 5 years they stayed up, then they went down. Really changed the whole model, but they know they're going to have a younger squad. They were going to sell people, and now they've changed the manager as well. But they know they're set for the next 10 years financially. So their plan should be, new manager comes in, but we're going to do it this way. If Russell Martin leaves, can you sit here categorically and say Southampton is still going to play that way?
Nah.
That's what I'm talking about, a plan.
And you also look at, I don't know, when we sacked Hasenhüttl, which at the time was like, I was buzzing with, because the football weren't right, but then to a point, Nathan Jones, which obviously didn't go very well.
Yeah.
And then Ruben Sellers, who is now doing a job. I think both of them are doing a job in League One now. Charlton and Reading respectively. But it's almost a little bit like. But then, what do you do now as a manager to?
In a weird
how
way,
do you do it?
You have to have your philosophy. You have to have your style of play, because you only get in two weird ways. You get set like this. If you play out from the back and all that, like Russell Martin's doing, and don't win, prospective other owners will look and go, I like the way that is. If you had better players, we'll move on, i.e. Vincent Kompany. In other ways, if you go like we're going to be pragmatic and win and stay up, you go, oh well, that's Sean Dyche, an older generation, and that's called it a day. Do you know what I mean? So you have a real difficult patch.
But is that really it now? Is that just the?
That's how when you look at it, that's all it is. If Sean Dyche got sacked tomorrow from Everton, where's his next job?
Yeah, I'm just going to call it yo-yo football because that's what it feels like a little bit.
But yo-yo football in what sense?
Taking a club in the relegation zone, maybe going down, doing a job in the champ, and then going back up again. And I feel like that's just a bit of a repetitive system at the bottom of the Premier League now.
Yeah,
but more so than ever.
Yeah,
which I just find frustrating because we sit in that position.
I just realised you've asked me about boxing, and you've given no indication of what you think.
What I think about the AJ fight. I thought we moved on. I'm a serial fence sitter. Fence sitter. I
if that's the case, then
this is a spiteful Daniel Dubois, but I think this is probably the best AJ.
That is serial sitting on the fence. That is.
It has to be.
Yeah, that's probably unfair of me to ask that. All right, we'll stick to football.
I was going to ask you now.
Go on.
So we're 4 games into the season.
Mm-hmm.
Far too early for an international break, by the way, but that's a conversation for another day.
Free normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
3 international breaks straight away and then all the way in?
No, I know, but it just feels like too early. Anyway, regardless of the point.
Need a little break
right
to
now,
Dubai, bro.
Of course.
The boys are knackered.
Right now, based on what we've seen, top 4.
Mm-hmm. City, Arsenal, Liverpool. Take your pick. I'd probably go Chelsea.
Yeah, I think so.
Just go Chelsea, just because they can rotate it.
Why? What's been your biggest surprise? So, how's that changed from the start of the season then?
Start of the season, I thought Liverpool would be in a bit more of a mess.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Although that Villa performance weren't.
Not Villa. Did they play Villa today?
No, brother, relax.
This is why you can't talk fucking football, because you ain't got a clue. Go on, who did they play?
Don't do that to me. Put me on the spot. Awful 1-0 loss that though. Nottingham Forest.
Jesus Christ.
Damn, that's rough. Shout out James Ward-Prowse who's there now. But they looked good and they still look good.
Uh-huh.
Is it as simple as like I thought this season, genuinely I thought Arsenal would compete.
Yeah, they will.
But I don't think so now. And I'm 3 games in. Because City just...
Yeah, but Arsenal are very pragmatic now in their approach. So do you
think they've done the right business?
Still think they need a striker.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm still not long-term convinced with Timber at left-back. I think he's naturally a right-back and he's just more natural for him there. And then again, you've got to be lucky with injuries at the course of a season. And they Odegaard being out is huge. And it's a big week for them as well. So they just had the North London derby. They've got Atalanta away this week, and then they go Man City away on the weekend. It's a huge week. If Odegaard's out of that Man City game, I think you'll see a defensive display like you saw against Spurs. Excuse me. Against Spurs, and they're going to have to try and get after them. But I just think when you got a goal scorer like Haaland, whenever they go on the pitch, they must know he's going to score. So he could be 1-0 down and look up and go, he's probably going to score. So we saw the Brentford score pass, and was it 24 seconds? They were like, yeah.
You're not worried, right? If you're a City, and you just expect, if you see City are losing, you almost sort of half expect, they're just going to go and like.
You'd need to see it go like 3 or 4 down.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, oh shit, there's a problem. But I think they're going to win. I think I had Crystal Palace as my outside bet to make the top 8 because I liked what they were doing, and then I don't like what they've done now. I don't think they've got much stronger than I thought they. I thought they possibly could get a bit stronger. I like what Fulham are doing. I do.
So do I actually.
Newcastle, a bit clunky.
Not as much business as their fans would have liked in the window.
Not what Eddie would have liked to have as well. And then, when you look at the bottom, I think Ipswich are going to stay up.
Do you?
I really do, yeah. I think Southampton go down. I think Leicester go down.
I think Everton might go down.
I think Everton, maybe Wolves.
Yeah.
Depends what Wolves can get done. But I think that's the 5.
Quickly, you mentioned Erling Haaland. Good mate of yours, I believe. Or at least a fan of Troy Deeney, at least. How good is he? I see the hat-trick stat. And it's like, it's obscene, right?
It's crazy.
But then you almost look at City, and in the same way that we used to look at Liga, and we still sort of look at Liga, and we look, we just know PSG are going to blitz it every season. Is that not a little bit how the Premier getting with Erling up top?
It's not. It's not at all. Because the problem you've got is City will lose a game, and City will drop points at teams. They might. Did Villa beat them twice last year? Or Aston Villa did something with them. Anyway.
They always have a little fall-off period.
Arsenal didn't lose them last year. And I think Villa, there you go, are helping the background there. Just help me that Villa beat Arsenal twice and City once last year. That can happen in our league. You very rarely see
that over in France.
Exactly. So I don't think it's going to be one of those. I think where City are at currently, they're just the best team. And you've got to learn, West Ham used to cause them problems under David Moyes because they used to sit in and wait and then just go long to Antonio and everyone just blitz as quick as you can and try and score. I think the same with where Leicester used to do it to them. Used to sit back and go, right, we're going to let Vards go. And you've got to be disciplined, man. And if you don't, I've been spanked by Man City a few times. It's not nice, mate. Start counting how many players they've got, and now you're like, wait, hold on.
What's it like as a player in that situation? Is it just long? Do you almost just like get me off the pitch type thing?
Fuck this. Yeah, it's long.
But do you go into the game with that? You can't really.
We had the FA Cup final.
I know, yeah.
So obviously we ended up losing 6-0. The morning of that game, genuinely, I'd slept well, woke up, I was thinking, do you know what? We might nick this, Genuinely thinking we might nick this. Call me fucking naive or whatever. I was thinking, Ben Watson, I know Watson as well, Wigan, they had that 1-0. All we need is that one chance. They might have an off day. You know what I mean? Like all of these different things. And I remember the first 20-odd minutes, I was like, we're at it here. Like it's a tough game, we're under pressure, but we're at it. And a massive chance with Pereira. It was 1v1 and Ederson saved it. And as soon as he saved it, the rest of us were like, oh, fuck. Like you just knew.
It just went. The momentum would.
You just knew, like
at that point,
everything had
that
to
was
go
your
right.
opportunity.
Yeah, everything had to go right.
Yeah.
For us to win, and then like leading up to half time, like 32 minutes. I want to say 33 minutes. We're like, just get to half time and bang 2-0 down. You're like, fuck, did that just happen? Other side coming at half time, like 2-0 down. Right, stay in the game. We'll try and go long, and like I'll win flick-ons and whatever. At other side of the half, bang, 4-0 down. You're like, oh, fuck this, mate. I'm looking up at the scoreboard. It's like 60 minutes gone, 4-0 down. We're getting Olayed off the pitch. My nan's up there watching, was thinking, what the fuck did I come out and watch this?
And you've still got to go and take the runners-up medal at that point.
Yeah. Like,
do you even want that there as a player?
I've got no medals on mine. I've got no trophies. I've got no player of the seasons. I ain't even got a shirt of mine in my gaff, mate. It's weird, isn't it?
Nah.
Having your own shit just around your house.
It's your own accolades.
Yeah, but I know
so you should be proud of, man.
I'm proud of my life and my achievements, but I don't think it's right to have things around the house. I don't think it inspires the kids. If anything, it puts a shadow over the kids.
Do you think?
I think so, yeah.
Surely they look at that and then go, that was dad.
Yeah, but they could do that anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm on about if you have all your shit around the house and they're trying to find their way. Just think how my oldest son is 15. Think at 15 and you play football, but you do it as a hobby. But everyone knows your dad played in the Prem and did okay for himself. You've already got pressure. So walking around the gaff and seeing my shirts,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Fair
and like
enough.
match balls and that. He must be thinking, fucking hell, fuck this. So I just let him do his thing, man. I let them all do their thing.
I sort of want this to more be like the intro episode as such, but I want to ask you, I suppose more in recent times, management for yourself. Yeah. You laugh, not me. What's your thought now?
Yep.
Reflecting a little bit of time on. What do you take away from the experience?
Loads. We took loads away from it. honestly, all positives as well. Like, you learn more from a mistake than you do from never trying. Do you get what I mean? So we tried it. There was loads of things that we did well. Again, the results wouldn't have showcased that, but we changed things, and we got a level of professionalism within a 3-week period that club hadn't seen in a short time anyway, that I was there. We dealt with a lot of nonsense that go on behind closed doors that you can't really talk too much about. But
are you still not able to talk too much about that?
Nah, because there is still some contract issues with them, like, that we've got to sort out.
Okay.
But it is mate, it is what it is. I had a good time. I'd learnt so much. The beauty, you know what the thing is with me, and you'll find this over the course of this podcast, right? I say things and people go, "Fucking hell, that's wild." Like, why did you say
very
that?
bluntly spoken, as in you put it
and
as
then
it is.
you let time develop and you let the comments mature, and then you look back and you go, "He's actually right." So when I said the cojones comment about Arsenal, it was like a massive uproar for like 6 months. And then after that 6 months, remember, this is the back end of Wenger going into Unai Emery. Everyone went, "Oh, Arsenal got a soft underbelly. Oh, Arsenal are lacking a little bit of bollocks, a little bit of leadership." It's like, hold on, I said that just 6 months before. And then, when you look at like Dabo, for example, like the comments are made about him, it's not about him personally, like him as a bloke. He's a nice geezer. But as a professional, I expected more from him, and he probably expects more from himself. When you look at it now, he ain't got a job. That's exactly what I said would happen. Do you know what I mean?
Do you not think, and look, I don't know, but I can only imagine as a player, the time that the manager's harsh, right? And like, is in the dressing room, right? And that's where you get your bollocking. You would have been screamed at plenty of times and such like that. Do you not almost think, regardless of if you were right in hindsight or not?
No, that's a bit. That's my point. What I'm saying is, absolutely, that should have stayed in the dressing room. That's something you learn about. Bear in mind, I want it to be very clear. I did say everything that I said outside to the people first. So you don't know me that well, but I'm never gonna go, "I think you're a piece of shit" to you, and then go outside and be like, "Oh, me and Parsons are the best of friends." I'm gonna say, "I think you're a piece of shit," and then I'm gonna go to the press, or I'm gonna go to whoever, it could be your missus, and she goes, "What do you think of Parsons?" "I think he's a prick because of this." And it's not going to be, there's not going to be like no grey area. I'm just going to say this is how it is. On reflection, and certainly moving forward, and now knowing what I know, mate, think about it, and you know this now because it was 7 months removed. I was getting married. I was basically going through some stuff with my kids, my ex-missus and my older kids. Fucking moved house. I did a TV show, which I'm not really allowed to talk about, but you know where I've been. And all that's going on, while, by the way, going on a Tuesday night, I played against Blackpool. Wednesday morning, I'm manager.
So do you not think...
Do you get what I mean? It's like so much going on in the background. You're like, oh,
why
shit.
did you take it?
Because you never know when you're going to get another job.
Fair enough.
If someone went to you, right, you're probably not fully set up to start interviewing people, but we're going to give you an opportunity to interview people. What are you going to do?
Yeah, you take the opportunity.
Take it and go, fuck, I need to figure it out. And you try to figure out life, you try to figure out structure. And like the beauty of it is, have you heard, and you've probably researched this, have you ever heard anyone say I was a bad coach?
No.
Because no one's talking about what I did from a coaching session, from a football. It's about the outside noise. Do you get what I mean? It's more what he said
but the outside noise is something that's always going to dictate a sport like football,
of course.
Right?
But like now, I know, like, look, right, take a year away. There's ways that you need to speak. There's ways that you need to conduct yourself. There's ways you need to present yourself. Man, I was turning up to games in Celine tracksuits.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know
I still don't hate that though, if I'm honest. Because who cares what the fuck the manager wears as long as the manager.
But what I'm saying is, you have to make a distinctive line between Troy the player, and Troy the coach.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what
and
you wear.
Think maybe that wasn't.
Of course,
yeah. Fine.
It couldn't have been. As I just said, it was a day. It was less than 24 hours between being a player and now you're in charge. And what I need to do is work. What I've been doing. So not what I need to do. What I've been doing is been on courses. I've been going around to other groups. I was in at Mercedes. How do Mercedes work? Why do they do all those type of things? Been in with Eddie, chatted to everybody. Like, how do you run a business? How do you run people that work underneath you? How do you work with bosses that are above you? And then just understand. Bear in mind, you have to remember, right? Going on a little live rant here, but I come from fuck all. No one's ever told me, taught this way. When you get money, be like this. And all the way through my career, I've just been me, raw, uncut, but it's been successful. So now I've had to retrain myself how to talk to people of your age. I can't scream and shout at everyone that's your age because they've never had that before. Where my day at 36, everyone got shouted at. We didn't go on social media for validation. You had to earn your validation.
You're not checking at what rating you got after the match the minute you're in the locker.
Exactly, Or, oh, bloody hell, this fan said on Twitter that I did this, or I wonder if I got nutmegged, what happened?
Can we quickly go on to that? Because it's funny, because I spoke to Ollie McBurney when I interviewed him towards the back end of last season. It was in a period where relegation wasn't confirmed, but it was pretty much inevitable. And he said, look, we go in and we fight every day. Yeah. But what he was realising more and more, and he's not particularly old as such, I think he's 27.
He's an older head though, isn't he?
Yeah. And he'd go into the dressing room after a game and all the young lads would just be sat there scrolling through Twitter, looking at what people are saying about their performances and literally like beating themselves up over it as well. Because you think they're going in and they know that they've not played amazingly.
But that's the
point. Did you see that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you not saying like, what the fuck are you doing? Like almost taking their phone off them? Like,
but how can you? Because I grew up in a time where you had to look after yourself, both physically and in terms of like, if you fucked up on the job, no one was going, oh, don't worry, son, the next one. It was like you were being embarrassed. I remember I played Watford very early on. I scored an own goal against Leeds from a corner. I've gone to head it like that, mistimed it. It's hit that side of my head, gone in. We lose 2-1 to Leeds at Ellen Road. Mate, I'm all the way home going, fuck, he's going to show that. He's going to show that. And he had Malcolm McCart at the time. So it was Sean Dyche at the time. Showed it on the bus. Normally you'd wait. You'd have Sunday off. You'd do it on Monday. On the bus, he's like, fucking, we could have won this game. But it wasn't to embarrass me. It's because he knew that I fucking would go home and think about it for the next 2 days. Let's deal with it. We dealt with it on the bus. Finished. You did that. You do that to people now. It's shaming. It's bullying. It's this, that, and the other. It's actually not. It's nipping it in the bud so you can move on. And the problem you've got in football now, especially at the lower levels, this is why I went to Forest Green originally, because I've been at the Prem and Champ for a large part of my career. You're in you get into a point in time when you become accustomed to nice things. Like you like flying private now. You don't fly an EasyJet.
I just flew EasyJet this weekend, I'll have you know.
I ain't too sure about all of that. But you do that, and then like where I'm at, it's just... I just went, all right, I need to go to League Two. Because that's where I started. I need to go to League Two and see what it's like. And this might be my starting point for a career job anyway. Walk in there, mate. And this is not Forest Green, but this is the whole of League Two, because I know other people at different places. All they talk about is money. It's mental.
What, the players?
Players. Like, who's earning what? How much they get for this bonus? Oh, why are the fines so expensive? And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, do your job and you'll get paid anyway. And like that was the mind blow. I remember talking...
But that's not going to change, right?
No, I was talking to Fozzie about it. Like me, because obviously Fozzie went to Wrexham, Ben Foster. And I was saying, like, did you notice that they all talk about money? It's like, mate, it's everywhere. But when you go up the leagues, no one talks about money because everyone's getting paid well.
I was going to say everyone's earning big dough.
Yeah, but it's all about winning. Win, be professional, do all the things you're supposed to do.
So the mentality is different from the players.
Absolutely.
Is it?
There's not a huge difference in terms of physical abilities in like between League Two and League One. That's why you see teams like Wrexham go from the Conference all the way to League One, because the jump isn't that huge, but it's like it's the application and the attitude.
You're gonna go again as a manager?
Yeah, of course I am.
What's the? We'll talk sort of punditry in a second, but like, which is something that consumes a lot, and you obviously enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I suppose having that vocal point and being able to do TV and stuff like that, and also let's not lie, like I'm sure TV pays nicely as well.
Michelin started to pay for itself.
Yeah. No, that's very true. That's very true. But you are determined to give that another go. And how do you see that timeline now?
You don't know the timeline. Listen, I could be trying to do all these different things, and football could turn around and go, "Nah, you're not for me." It's no problem, but I just think I'm going to give myself. I'm only going to get one more crack at it, so I'm going to give myself the best opportunity to do that. And if it doesn't, like you've just said, like media's not. I'm not struggling. Do you know what I mean? So I'm.
What would you prefer to do?
Fucking crack on this for the next 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
So if the managerial job don't come up, you've got 10 years of beyond the play.
Long as the checks.
Yeah, no, I hear that. What was for you? What would you prefer to do? As in, like, in terms of what your gut feeling, passion
is management.
Is it?
Yeah, being out of the football.
And you would be happy to drop everything.
Of course you would. Yeah, of course you would. But listen,
but financially,
that's rude. Actually, I say, because if I said I would just drop everything, that'd be disrespectful to people that make commitments, like yourself, like TalkSport, like.
No, I don't think it is.
No, I do think it is. I'm somebody that if I say I'm going to do something, I deliver on it. I don't like to go, oh, okay, of course. Do that. But what I would do, I would with every single outlet that I'm attached to, I'd be like, look, this has presented itself. Can we have a comfortable conversation?
Go. Yeah.
And if they were angry and annoyed, I'd be like, I can understand it, but I'm probably still going to do this anyway. But we'd have the conversation. I would never take a job and then you find out online and you'd be like, mate, we got a podcast on Monday.
Yeah.
Do you get
what's going on there? Yeah,
exactly.
In terms of, I don't know, how do you expect the next 12 months to unfold?
Well, I'm at uni, so I'm still doing my uni degree. I've got business or businesses that are doing okay. And then I'm just going to crack on with the media, mate. This is going to be more fun. This is a bit more of a serious one than what we would normally do, but obviously intro in it and a few things to get off our chest.
And there's also things I've got the opportunity, I suppose, to just ask you the questions.
So like there'll be more light-hearted, more fun.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, these are just some things we have to just get out there and then. So I have fun with this. I'll still do my media, I'll still be around the grounds and checking on stuff. And then, just go when we're ready to go. I'll move at my pace.
I've got one question for you. The Harry Kane comments.
Yes, sir.
They've been clipped up 1,000,000 times online.
Yeah.
I'm in no position to comment because I don't know anything well enough about football. Cool. Talk me through it, and do you stand by what you said?
You ever heard me apologise for anything that I've said?
No.
There you go.
But
so, what was said in the full conversation was, there was a time when we got relegated for the Prem with Watford on the last day against Arsenal in COVID. It was a really quick turnaround. There was talks of me potentially going to Arsenal as the number 2 striker behind Aubameyang. Actually, in that situation, it would have been number 3 behind Aubameyang and Lacazette. I would have been number 3. Completely different option. And then there was talk of me going to Spurs with Mourinho. They had Harry Kane, and that was it. The big Spanish fella, Llorente, had left. So they were looking for that type of person to go in and have it done. And when I had the conversations with people about it, the conversation was, would I be able to go in from Watford being the main man to play second fiddle to Harry Kane? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I'm a soldier. I can play my position, no problem. What I also said and what I stand by is I'll push him every single day to be the best version of himself. And if he messes up, I'll go in and play. Now, what I said, which got clipped up into 85 different variants, was there's certain things in his game at that time that I could do better than him. Don't think that's an unfair thing to say. I think I'm better with my back to goal. That's just how I felt. Certainly better in the air. That's just how I felt. That's it. Is he a better finisher than me? Absolutely. Actually, you said it as well. I don't know if you saw the full clip, but I actually said, he's better than me. This is the first thing I said. But that's just how I felt. If I was going in, you're around boxing. If you was doing a fight week and somebody went, you asked them, who do you think you're gonna win this week? And they went, I'm not sure, You'd be like, he's lost. Tell me an athlete you've ever heard that goes
who doesn't back themselves.
That fella's better than me.
Yeah. Who doesn't back themselves.
I don't care if I'm going up against Ronaldo or Messi. Are they better than me? Fuck yeah, of course they are. But could I have one day where I'm better? I don't know if you watch athletics or not. There was an Italian sprinter about 6 years ago. He was ranked number freaking 10 or something in the world. Wins gold at the Olympics. Because on that week, it all fell into line. And he won, and he won, and he won. He's now he's gold medalist. Is he better than Usain Bolt? Absolutely not. But he won. That's it.
Very true.
Life lessons is what I fucking do, guys.
That's what the man's here for, to give you. What life lessons would you give me sitting here right now? I'm
26.
cautious a little bit at a time.
Yeah, of course.
I want us to wrap up, but I also want to be able to give that dynamic of people that they're not just listening for the sort of informal educational part, but they're actually just listening to us having a chat.
Yeah, I think at 26, mate, you're smashing it.
26?
I'll tell you, not 26.
5 years off, although I'm kind of flattered by that.
At 21, you are absolutely smashing it. You're ahead of 90% of people. One thing I'll say to any younger person is the world, and especially social media, makes you feel like you need to grow up.
Yeah.
A lot quicker than you do.
I think there's more pressure now on...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I felt that pressure, though,
at 21, fuck me, I'm going to show how different our lives are. I had a son, and I was going to jail that same year.
Yeah, that's mad.
And I was playing in the championship. Do you get what I mean? Like, there's so much shit goes on, but because I thought I was with a partner at the time that had been together since school, have a baby, you're moving together, you get married.
That's your life.
That's it. Like, anyone who I knew at the time was either doing something they shouldn't be doing or working at the Land Rover. That they were my two job opportunities. Do you get what I'm saying? So I just think when you're a kid, you're younger now, you've got so much more information. Don't be in a rush to leave home. Say this to my oldest boy all the time. Why would you want to move out?
Stack your money up.
Stack your dough. Like, also, like, I'm not blows, but like, my house is all right. His mum's house is not bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, we live in nice houses, in nice areas. Why do you want to rush out to leave to go live in something that's shitter?
Yeah.
And go, yeah, but I live on my own. Well done. Now you've got no dough in your skin. Happy days. Now you're stressed every day.
Do it at your own pace.
Do it at your own pace.
Yeah.
Go on, if you're travel, fucking go around the world, have loads.
See what the world has,
Loads of nice food. Mate, we laughed about it. We went to a Michelin star place for food today.
Yeah, we did.
You
lunch.
ate food and you were like, you probably wouldn't have eaten that on a normal day.
No, I wouldn't have.
Normal day, you probably go Subway.
Definitely not. Yeah.
A
Subway or a little KFC.
There you go. And then it's like you try shit, you do shit. We got a lovely young lady here that's working behind there.
Shout out Laura.
Shout out Laura, big Laura
Does
on
a
the
fantastic
decks,
job.
doing her thing. But she's young, she's enjoyed herself, she's having a great time. Like, everyone she'll probably have pressure at home when you're getting married. You probably have pressure like, where's the bird? Like, where's your missus? When you're moving out? It's like, fucking relax.
Trust the process.
No, if you sound like Arteta at that point, fuck that off. But at this point, just relax, stack your dough, just have enough of have an understanding. And I think no one really plans. Everyone just does. And when it falls flat on the face, they can never identify what went wrong. So have a plan, chill out, get yourself to Napa, go and have a tear up. Do you know what I mean?
I got two more that I want to finish on, and I want two of your maddest stories that you've not told before.
Well, I'll end up back in jail.
You may do that. One from your footballing career, and I say footballing career, like just the time that you were active. So I don't know, let's say like 18 to last year. And then I'm going to condense the maddest story down to a story that you can tell us raw from the touchline, from the dressing room, from your managerial career. The two maddest things to end on that you've not already spoke about.
So what we'll say, maddest story in my footballing career.
And this could be bouncing prison from playing. This could be
like I think most of them would be like the trouble I used to get into while playing. Like, I can't go into too much detail for obvious reasons, but like, let's put it this way, that wasn't my first time getting nicked. It wasn't the first fight I'd ever had, and I was doing well in football. And then By the way, I say all these things not to glorify, just to say this was the life
Yeah, but that's
I used
what
to
you've.
lead.
Yeah, it's your story.
Yeah. But I'm conscious that people think it's cool now, innit, to be tough guy. To be a tough guy is a fucking waste of time. Let me tell you that for free. It's a waste of time. It's boring.
Don't get you nowhere.
No, not necessarily don't get you nowhere. It just comes with a lot of bullshit further down the line. There's still certain places I go and have to look over my shoulder, and it's like, fucking really? Like, do you know what I mean? I'm 36 and I'm doing all right. It's actually pathetic. But from a footballing point of view, it would be the nights out, like go on a night out on a. So obviously I used to go out Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You'd go out.
Out like
out.
Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Sometimes Monday as well, depending on how we felt.
What's going on in,
yeah. I was active, man. I was out and about. I was where you shouldn't be. I was there
as a player.
With my pals from home, having a good
time
time
that you shouldn't have been having.
Yeah, and then you know what I mean. We've done Vegas better than most. We've done Miami better than most. Done Dubai better than most. We've had a good time. Had a really good time.
Lastly, from me, a gritty story from the touchline. I feel like I know one that you might have told me off camera.
Yeah, I don't think we could.
Can
say
it
that
not?
on camera.
No, man. I'm actually gutted by that.
Yeah, we can't say that on camera.
Can you do a PG version?
You know the one I said at lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't say that. No, so basically, like here's what I can say. We was in a situation at Forest Green where we'd brought a player in because it was made very clear to me that another player had to go. So we brought somebody to swap that player around. And that morning of the game was, I've had to say to the player, like, you're not going to be involved. This player's going to be involved instead. And all house kicked off. That player's like, right, I want paid up. F this, F that. You lot are all liars, this, that, the other. I've just got to listen. Game's a game. Like, I've been honest. I've told you from the start, this is how it is. This is what it is. Take a little break. Like, if you don't want to be on the bench, no problem. Go home, have the weekend with your family. Turns out he's on the bench. It's all good. But, yeah, 20 minutes before kickoff, there's like a little mothers meeting with me, this player, director of football, because they're all pointing fingers. I didn't say that. You said that. I'm just like, look, one thing people know about me is I don't lie. So here's this. Here's what I was told. Here's my decision. Like it or lump it. That simple. And yeah, we end up playing a game 20 minutes later with all of this madness going on in the background.
And that's football that people don't see.
Mate, shit like that happens all the time.
Yeah. But all also from what I hear on the ground, the lower leagues, League 1 and League 2, it's
carnage.
It's carnage. Yeah. There's a lot
and that's why,
a lot of madness.
That's why your Wrexhams do so well, your Stockports do so well.
Because they're more corporate.
No, because they're more professional.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but there's an element of
No, there's a level of this can be accepted versus this won't be accepted. And the turnover there isn't as big. If you look at League 1 and League 2, there's a massive turnover. There isn't that at those bigger clubs.
Well, Troy, thank you very much.
No problem.
An hour banked, I think.
Yeah. I promise it's going to be a lot better than this moving forward. This was more asking Troy questions that you've been wanting to ask.
Yeah, but then that's part of what this is, right?
Just ask me
and
shit.
the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, cool.
This is going to be a weekly thing.
Yes.
We have got some very exciting guests. I feel like there's no point saying them now as such when we can just...
We'll just show you, innit?
Yeah, precisely.
But between his phone book and my phone book...
There's some cool names in there.
Some people coming on that you will be relatively impressed by.
Yeah. And I think, look, for me, to be able to talk about football, despite maybe not having the knowledge, is always going to be sick. But...
How was your fantasy team getting on?
Not great. Usually I do okay on FPL. Not great. I didn't put Haaland in because I thought I was mature.
What?
I know. I didn't put Haaland in because I thought I was mature. I went for Mo Salah instead, who for the first couple of game weeks was nice. It's starting to catch up. So I've now stacked 3 transfers, but after stacking the 3 transfers, I'm now thinking 3 free transfers. I'm now thinking I may as well just have to wild card the whole thing. But I didn't want to be that guy who wild carded after a week. What's yours saying?
I'm doing all right. I wild carded after 2 weeks.
You did?
I did after 2 weeks.
Have you got Salah and Haaland? No.
I didn't want to go for both. I just can't seem to get the defenders right.
No.
Whoever I put on the bench gets
the points.
Yeah. And then whoever starts gets me 1 point. But I'm doing okay. I'm averaging around 55, 56 points.
Okay. Mine was okay before. I think I done like 33 last week, which is seriously not looking good, bruv. Troy Deeney. That is episode 1 of Beyond the Play.
Yes, sir.
Geezer's texting.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that our coffees are on the way.
Bash.
Peace. Mate, you look like